Hi, welcome back. I'm Naren and I'm with Google for last 14 years as software engineer in Bangalore. In this vlog, we will try to check out how you can also try to become part of Google with the help of Kickstart. You can check the hiring process in detail at the scene. And like any other company, the main two steps are first, you need to get a call from Google for the interviews. And the second one is when you get the interviews, you need to clear the interview. So first step in getting the call, there are three modes. First one is active mode, where you will go to careers.google.com and find all the opening job profiles that Google is looking for and see whether something matches for your CV. Then you need to apply by submitting your CV, which can happen either through the above website, or if you know someone within Google, you can request them to refer you as an employee referral. Second one is passive, a long process. You need to build your own career and a solid CV and put it in LinkedIn.com so that someone can reach out to you. Third one is kind of a mix, which is Kickstart. We will cover later. So step 2 is cracking the interviews. For the software engineer role, you might have to face maybe initial phone screening and then 45 minutes interviews in a day. Most of them cover stuff like data structures and algorithms, like computer science basics. You need to write code, which should be compilable. And you normally use Google Docs. You might get an open in a design problem also. You need to have a decent exposure to one of the programming language, which you will use while writing the code. And normally, while writing your code, you will talk through the answers so that you can show what you're thinking, even if you don't write the perfect code. And you should be aware of the complexity analysis of the solution that you are providing. And they should also take care of the edge cases, the use cases of the problem. And about my entry into Google, I think I tried initially in 2005, like an active mode that I just described before in 2005, which failed. And then with my friend inside Google, like I got an employee referral. And at the time, I had an MTech from University of Science Bangalore and 6+ years industry experience. So it went through the first step. So I got the call for the step 2. And I cleared one telephonic interview and then 5 on-site interviews. And I joined the interview process. So about Kickstart, which is for everyone. So it's an online programming contest by Google. And if you score better than that, you can easily pass the step 1. And it can also help as an exercise for the preparation of the step 2 for interview. And Kickstart, it is conducted by Google every month from March to December. And each one is a 3-hour duration with 4 problems to solve, the programming questions, totally 100 minutes. Normally happens on Sundays each month, but the time changes to help everyone across the globe. And The top scorers, if they are interested, then Google will call them for interviews for the job openings or the internship. This is the Google website for the Kickstart where you can register and have more details. You need to go and register in that website, and also the event, which is like the next one is for 2021. And there you can also check for the previous year questions, solutions, and even the code submitted by other programmers. You can also practice like writing code, submitting the code, in this website, so that you can get ready for the next round, which will be in March 2020. Note that you can even attend all the rounds in the year, but score from each round is independent. It won't be summed up and all. So even if you score one best among all these attempts, there's a high chance that you will get a call from Google for interviews. You can also check out this YouTube link for more tutorial on the Kickstart program, like what it is. So, and for the preparation of the Kickstart, have some IDE on your machine so that you can work on the coding, debugging and all. Even during the competition also, you will do that on your machine and then just copy paste the code on the Kickstart website to run. Pick one of the languages so that you can become comfortable with that and use them, like C++ or Java. And you can pick C++, which can help you like because of the performance and all. When you upload the solution, the Kickstart website will run it across many test cases. Initial ones will be simpler ones, and then they will run on large data sets. So for each one will have different marks. So you can try solving previous year questions and check the solution. Google will explain the solution for the previous year questions, but there won't be any code. But you can check the code submitted by others. As you practice, you can also prepare code snippets if you can define some of the basic problem components so that you can reuse, like maybe some sorting kind of thing, some interesting data structures, so that you can save time when you're really solving the problems next time. On the competition day, take it easy, because if you perform poorly in 1 month, you can try totally. I think you can have 8 attempts, because there are 8 months in the year when they can Kickstart. Since you will have 4 problems, make sure that you read all of them first before starting any of the solution, so that you can get a feel which is the simplest one. Even though like first one will be the simplest one, but sometimes for you there may be some easier ones later on. So good to read all the problems first. One problem in the back of your mind, you might be thinking about solutions for other problems, or you can take a little break in between if you're stuck, so that you can even think about multiple problems before finishing in a sequence. And also when you upload, if it succeeds for some test cases and fails for others, quickly check for obvious bugs in your code, but don't spend too much time on one problem. You can move on to the next problem, and you can only come back on debugging the failing ones later on, because there may be easier solution for you in the next problem instead of wasting time on debugging the previous ones. Note that when you're writing your own code, you might, if you look heavily at the code or submitted the code in the Kickstart website, you might see that within the first 5 minutes, many people would have submitted answers to the first problem. And also within 20 minutes, some people would have just finished all the four problems. So don't worry, just do it on your own pace without stressing out. Just ignore these people. If you're one of them, you are wasting your time here. You can go and solve, no problem. So enjoy the problem, whether you can solve it or not. And after the competition, Google will upload the analysis of the solution for each problem, like as I said, without any code. So you can check your solution against it or try coding if your solution is wrong previously, or if you don't get the idea to attempt. As I said, you can also check code from others to get more ideas about how they optimize the code. You can learn more from others. So as always, like make sure you prepare code snippets, make notes, try more problems, more algorithms after each competition and before the next one. So you can increase your scores in future attempts. So this is one sample problem. Note that normally each problem will have a lot of text. You need to read it, ignore the story described in the problem, and just focus on the actual computer problem that you're going to solve. So you need to quickly abstract it and define the problem for yourself and that, like at least for this description of the problem. It is something like there is a game you're playing with the n levels, and you have finished level 1 till k minus 1, and at present you are at level k. And at this moment you realize that at level n, which is the last level, you need to kill your boss. And for that, you really need a sword. And you realize when you're in level k that you forgotten to pick up that sword in level S, which you already completed. So now, since you need that sword in level N, so what you can do? Either you can, and the goal of this problem is you need to finish the game quickly from the time point. So one is you can stop the game here itself at level K and restart the game at level 1. And remember to pick the sword in level N. And go till N and finish it. Or instead of aborting the game and restarting, you can go back from level K to level S one step at a time till S, pick the sword, and then continue from level S onwards till N. And each of it has its own overhead. So you need to check these two options and find which is the quickest one. So you can go to Kickstart and start practicing. So are you still scared or having doubts whether we can do better in this? So don't worry. Even for me, I just attempted Kickstart last October 2020, and I was able to score only 5 in that attempt on that. Even it was difficult for me to have patience to sit for 3 minutes. So don't worry, most of the people will be in the same boat. So just try it out. So don't lose hope and just practice. Hope this is useful. So we will try to see whether we can solve some more problems in other videos. So thanks for watching. Good luck.